It's our honor to have you join us for NAF Next 2020 Virtual. Our theme is Connect, Unite, Breakthrough. And that's exactly what we hope this event is for you. We hope you connect. You'll have a chance to connect with the presenters on the platform and with your colleagues via social media. And unite. We are committed to continue to strive towards the unity that we so desperately need right now. Breakthrough. Our hope is that this event will be a breakthrough for you. Maybe it's just the discovery of one nugget of information about advisory boards or internships or work-based learning. Or it's a personal breakthrough where you feel a renewed sense of purpose and mission in our goal to prepare all of our students to be future ready. As we get started today, there are a few important pieces of information you need to know. First, stay connected to NAF Next 2020 Virtual through Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Just use the hashtag NAFNext20. On this platform, you'll also have the chance to chat with most of our presenters. So take advantage of that throughout the session and share ideas, questions, or even encouraging words. Each of the presenters has also provided resources, including their slide deck, with you. And you can access that right here. You don't have to wait until later, so feel free to download these resources and put them to use in your academy as you plan for the fall. Also, be sure to go to naf.org to see our latest resources. There will be a session evaluation for each session, and we'll provide that information at the end. Once again, thanks for joining us for this session. I believe you're going to find this next presenter incredibly helpful as they share their passion and insight with you. Enjoy.
Hello and welcome to the Business Partnerships Leveraging Your Chamber of Commerce presentation.
My name is Alex Bro. I am the Director of Work-Based Learning for the Greater Naples Chamber of Commerce.
My name is Courtney Stallman. I'm the Manager of Career and Technical Education with Collier County Public Schools, and I oversee work-based learning and internships.
And hi, my name is Nicole Lichko. I'm also a Manager of Career and Technical Education programs here at Collier County Public Schools. And I work with all grades 6 through 12 with Career and Technical Education, and I am the Director of all of our NAF Academies. So I want to welcome you to our presentation, and we hope that you follow us on Twitter. Our handle is at CCPS_NAF. Please feel free throughout our presentation to go ahead and tweet to the hashtags #BeFutureReady, #NAFNext20, and do the handle for NAF at NAFCareerCads, and make sure to include our handle in all of your tweets at CCPS_NAF.
So today, during our presentation, we hope that you walk away with a few objectives. The first one is developing a partnership with your local Chamber of Commerce. We hope that you'll learn about supporting work-based learning in a small to medium-sized community. And we hope that you're able to begin to learn to engage local businesses and community partners.
So we live in Collier County in Naples, Florida. And Collier County is made up of cities such as Naples, Marco Island, Immokalee, and Everglades City. To kind of give you an idea about how large our county is geographically, we are the same size as the state of Delaware. And most of our economy is made up of 92% of small businesses who have 9 employees or fewer. We are known for our beautiful beaches and wealthy population, but little known fact is that close to 70% of our students' populations are economically needy. And we have a short video to better explain Collier County Public Schools.
From the lush tomato fields of Immokalee to the fertile fishing grounds of Everglades City, from the pristine beaches of Marco Island to the luxurious restaurants and shops of downtown Naples, Collier County, Florida is the perfect blend of paradise. Voted the #1 place to retire, Naples is a vibrant, growing, world-class community that holds on to its charming small-town roots. Voted the 2nd healthiest community in the United States, excellence isn't just a desire in Collier County. It is demanded here in all facets of life. From tourism to high-tech, Collier County is a shining example of success including our public schools. 80% of our students go on to post-secondary education. 2016 graduates broke a district record, earning $34 million in scholarships. CCPS graduates become CCPS employees who put their trust and their children in CCPS classrooms. We are the largest employer in Collier County. We have 7,000 hardworking employees supporting our students. 3,200 are world-class teachers. 49% of our teachers have advanced degrees. Our teachers are supported by 5,500 active volunteers and are always looking for more. But it is our students that are the shining stars. CCPS students are
diverse,
curious, and inquisitive. We are innovative. We are dreamers.
We are hands-on learning.
we excel through guided learning, not just lectures.
Our high school marching bands are all certified superior.
We are creative.
Full steam ahead.
We are digital learners. We are leaders.
Explorers.
We are competitive in the classroom and on the field. We are athletic.
We produce Division I college athletes.
We are world-renowned musicians.
We are supported by our community.
We are celebrated for our achievements.
We don't just solve math problems. We are champion mathletes.
We are diverse in thought, experiences, and cultures.
We are artistic. We are problem solvers.
We are strategic.
We are relentless in our pursuit to academic excellence.
Our academics utilize internationally recognized curriculum.
We are state education leaders.
We are role models for other school districts. Our teachers are golden examples.
We are dual enrolled. We are college students while still in high school.
We are college ready. We are inventors.
We are red carpet worthy feature filmmakers.
We are architects.
We are great writers.
We are engineers. We are industry certified.
We are decorated heroes.
We are great readers.
We are future pilots earning our wings in high school.
We are driven to succeed.
We are forward thinking.
We care.
We inspire.
We are future ready.
We are full of CCPS pride.
We are today's learners.
And we are tomorrow's leaders.
I am a CCPS success story.
I am a CCPS success story. I'm a CCPS success story.
I am a CCPS success story. We are CCPS proud!
Okay, so here is a graphic that kind of gives you an idea of what our school district is like. As you can see on there, we have 58 schools. 7 of them are traditional comprehensive high schools, which house our 26 NAF Academies. As Alex said, close to 70% of our student population is economically needy, and more than half of our students speak a different language other than English at home. Our district strategic plan really includes college, career, and life ready skills. As you can see on there, our mission statement actually is college and career life ready, which really exemplifies the NAF model. Our goal is really to provide equitable opportunities to students, and we do this through work-based learning curriculum and ensuring that all schools and all academies and all CTE programs have the same types of materials, curriculum, programming, no matter what their economic status is throughout their school population. We're really lucky that within our school district, we have a lot of top-down support. So our superintendent is very, very on board with NAF Academies and CTE and work-based learning and internships, as is our school principals, as well as our other district administrators. So across our district, we have 26 academies. As you can see on there, there are engineering academies at each of our traditional high schools. Again, really focusing in on those equitable opportunities for students, making sure they have similar experiences no matter what high school they're at, because we do have varying high school economic populations. We have schools that are very, very low economically needy, and we have schools that are on the higher end of that. So we want to just make sure all students have the same opportunities no matter what their economic status is. We also have incubator entrepreneurship programs in all of our high schools. At 4 of the high schools, that incubator program is actually included in our NAF Finance and Entrepreneurship Academy. On here, you can see that we've been pretty successful with our academies. We have, how many do we have? We have 17, thank you. We have 17 academies that have actually earned model and distinguished status this year. They're listed on our slides there. And that's about 72% of our academies that are really doing very well and achieving at a very high level. So the reason our academies are performing at such a high level really is because of the relationship that we have developed with the Chamber of Commerce. I'm going to pass this on to Alex because she's going to explain how that Chamber of Commerce relationship works within our district, our school district, and also how they support all of our academies and our students.
So what is a Chamber of Commerce? Most of you either have one or more chambers in your area, so you might already be familiar with what a chamber is. But for those who don't know, the official definition is an association or network of business people designed to promote and protect the interests of its members. And most of the people think that a Chamber of Commerce is all about ribbon cutting, and we are not just about ribbon cutting. Just want to make that clear. We like to think of ourselves as a connector, an information hub, the voice of the business community. We support economic development, and we foster community relationships. And in fewer words, we connect, we advocate, and we lead. This is all possible through the employers who pay a membership to be part of our association to utilize many of our chamber benefits. At the Greater Naples Chamber, our vision is to make Collier County the best place in America to live, work, and play. Our mission is to cultivate economic opportunity for all. We have about 1,200 members and considered one of the only chambers in our county. And we also have a Leadership Collier Foundation. This foundation is made up of 3 leadership programs, which make over about 900 alumni, ranging from young professionals to highly successful executives. And our Leadership Collier Foundation is our 501c3 of the chamber, so we are a charitable organization. And just like CCPS has their own strategic plan, we also have one of ours. Our chamber, one of our top priorities is workforce development. So again, having this as a priority ensures the sustainability and longevity of our commitment to working and developing youth. And we believe that one way to economic prosperity is retaining local talent and having access to a skilled talent pool. So why is the chamber invested in work-based learning? We understand that the business community is a critical partner in providing students with work-based learning opportunities needed to bridge the gap from classroom to workplace. And some of the benefits of work-based learning are listed above, but I'm going to go into detail a little bit more, especially about the employer benefits of being engaged with work-based learning. For employers, they have the ability to have involvement with professional development of our future workforce, along with access to future talent. They can improve employee engagement and employee retention through community engagement. They can reduce training and recruitment costs and expand development of new projects with students' assistance. As for the community, we see the benefits with work-based learning creates an environment of collaboration and cooperation among schools, contributes to building a more productive local economy, and fosters confidence among business leaders and schools. And also, I just want to note here that I've been involved with the U.S. Chamber of Commerce cohort. It's called Business Leads. And every conversation that we have with that cohort, but also with a lot of other chamber associations or other webinars, workforce development is constantly being brought up. It is a hot topic right now. And especially with the unemployment rate so high, workforce development is a critical thing to grow our economy right now. So if you want to get involved with your chamber, now is the time. Just ask them. I'm pretty sure that they will probably be really excited about you reaching out to them. So how does a chamber support work-based learning? With my position, it started as a part-time job to link students to businesses. And then we quickly realized the value and need of the position, and it turned into a full-time position. I have been in my role for about 2 years now, and I'm involved with all aspects of NAF in the schools. I am the board chair for our district-wide advisory committee, and I sit on almost every school's advisory committee as well. But as much as I love CCPS, I also work with private schools, charter schools, and nonprofit organizations. And to explain my role in simplest words as possible, I am the link between employers and educators and students. And the worksheet that you see on your screen right there, this is the type of things that teachers can reach out to me about. If they want a guest speaker, if they want a worksite tour, they know that they have an open line of communication. They can reach out to me, email me, call me anytime. They can reach out and get to know more information about what I do, but also if they want a connection to an engineer or say someone in finance, we know those people because we are the Chamber of Commerce, which means business. So we know those people, we can help connect them. And with our CCPS partnership, Courtney and Nicole and I, we are emailing constantly. We call each other BFFs because we literally probably email each other once a day, and we work very closely with each other.
So when Alex is talking about work-based learning, we all know that NAP has 7 work-based learning competencies that focus on career awareness, career exploration, and career preparation. But Collier County goes a little bit above and beyond sometimes, so we've actually added 3 additional work-based learning competencies to the continuum to make for 10 work-based learning competencies. So these are some of the things that business professionals and Alex can help and assist with in mentoring and working with students. As you can see here, we do this sort of thing like Nicole was talking about for equitable opportunities for all students. We want to make sure that students have every opportunity they can to interact and interface with different career and business professionals. So some of the chamber supported work-based learning events, you're going to see some pictures in the next slide, but I want to point out some of the career-themed career fairs that we do. Build My Future, for instance, is surrounding our engineering students. And we also bring in some of our construction students so that they can see all the types of trades and careers that go into engineering or construction or the trades. Heroes in Action, that surrounds our criminal justice and our health science students so that they can see all of the first responders. So we really want our students to be able to interact with different business professionals, and having the chamber support that and solicit those businesses and bring them in is a huge help. We do a lot of competitions, some app challenges. We have a STEAM competition every year where we have our engineering students participate. And we also try to highlight all of our NAF academies there so that we can promote what we're doing. We're promoting it not only to the students, but we're promoting it to the business community. Because once you invite the business professionals in, they really get to see the impact that they make on the students. So here's just some of the pictures we were talking about. If you look at the bottom left-hand side of your screen, you can actually see Alex there. She is doing a mock interview with a student who's preparing for her impending internship interview. A couple of the events that we have on this page, if you look at the very middle of the screen, this is an event that we do at one of our high schools that we're hoping to replicate at other high schools, but we call it speed networking. And this is single-handedly organized by Alex in the chamber, where she brings in business professionals, and students will rotate through a number of business professionals within that speed networking time frame so that they can learn about different careers. And then in the bottom right-hand side of your screen, that is where we have held a NAP advisory board meeting at a school. And what's really great about that is by holding it at a school, we're able to bring the business professionals into the school so that they can interact with the students, they can hear from the students and the academy leads that are at the school about the needs, about what they're doing, and it really shows the business professionals what they're supporting being part of the advisory board.
Random side note just on this one, if you see these pictures in the background, they're IT Digital Design Academy students worked with the teacher to create a different poster from each of the academy, which is kind of neat. Just throwing that out there.
So we talked about how to sort of get people involved with NAF. Alex is really great with getting business professionals involved, but you also have to have the support of your school and you have to have the support of your district. Like Nicole was saying, here in Collier County, we have the top-down support, being that NAF is a district initiative in our strategic plan. But if you're in a smaller area, maybe your district's not very large, or you're kind of an island where NAF is just a one-for at your school, you really have to be your own advocate. So you have to really try to get people to understand NAF. So talk to your school administrators, talk to your school leadership team. You never know the meetings that they're going to where they can talk and they can help promote NAF Academies. Educate staff members. Maybe ask to talk at one of your staff meetings for 5 minutes to talk about what NAF is. If you look on the NAF website, they have some really great proven graduation rates and statistics that could really help with your case. Connect with other model academies. We've taken trips over to other districts. We've had other districts come here so that we can learn from their successes, but also from their failures. If you talk to one another, NAF is such a great network that you can exchange ideas. And then share successes. Be your own advocate on social media, but also use your students. There's nothing like using a student to show a success that they've had, whether it's in an internship or some sort of project that they've done. They're really the advocates for your academy. And then who else can you connect with? I know we've talked a lot about connecting with the chamber, but the chamber also has provided us with some really great resources as well. So where our NAF advisory board stemmed from, we have a district advisory board that oversees all of our academies, and then some of our schools have individual advisory boards. Before NAF even started, we had what was called a Future Force Advisory Board, and that was made up of business leaders in the community that were representative of our academy themes, not NAF academies, but just regular CAPE academies. So they were really there for us to be able to run information by, industry trends, tell us what the curriculum that we were using, if it was beneficial, if it was updated, if it was in need. So we took a lot of those business professionals and transformed them into our NAF advisory board, because they were already on board with what we were doing with our career themes. So when NAF had those proven models and we were bringing it into the district, they were already on board. So we used a lot of those business professionals. Another really great group to target is HR groups. When we first started recruiting for NAF advisory boards, we were targeting a lot of CEOs and presidents and heads of companies. But we were finding that a lot of those people didn't show up to meetings regularly, and it's because they're really busy. So by soliciting and going and talking to the HR departments, we have a group in town called HR Collier, and that's made up of a bunch of different HR professionals in large companies and small companies around town. So we have a common interest, and that's really to develop our workforce. So we knew that it was going to be a perfect marriage where they're able to come in and see the talent that we're developing in our schools and help to develop that talent. And we need those business professionals to do that. We turn to government organizations. Our government here in town oversees everything from parks and recreation to water, facility management, parking, meters. I mean, it kind of runs the gamut. So partnering with them, it was really a no-brainer. Workforce boards, that's your employment offices. Here in Florida, it's called Career Source. So we work with them because we have a common interest. It's workforce development. Industry associations and civic organizations. A lot of these groups of people are usually made up of business professionals, and sometimes they need meeting space. So we got involved with some of our civic organizations, and we invited them into schools to hold their meetings. We also invited students to interact with those business professionals as well, so that those people can see what goes on in the classroom.
And before you do, I just want to jump in really quick to add to that just part. As a district person, as a director of all the NAF academies, I've actually even gone with engineering teachers to like the Florida Engineering Society. We've reached out to them and said, hey, can we have 10 minutes of one of your meetings so we can actually target and talk to engineering professionals from an industry association? which we ended up getting internships out of and some work-based learning opportunities. So it's really worth the ask.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. By showing the business community what's going on in the classrooms and by introducing them to the curriculum and to the students, it's really a win-win for everyone. The last thing we want to talk about is nonprofits. Don't leave them out, because here in Collier County, we have over 400 nonprofit organizations. And they're always looking for help, but they're also looking to invest back in the community. So work-based learning is just, it's a no-brainer for them.
How do you convince employers to work with you? Number one, you want to set up a meeting with them. Reach out to them, say, do you have an hour? Can we set up a meeting and speak to you about NAF and how to build your future workforce? And in your email communication, you want to make sure that the information is very concise, a short email, use bulleted points, and bold your text that you really want them to catch their eye. You know, employers are really busy. They're not going to read through a 2-page email. So make sure your communication is very short. And number two, once you have the business meeting set up, you want to start to build a genuine relationship with these employers. And when you're in this meeting, you want to reiterate the benefits of the employers for them to be involved with work-based learning. Tell them this is their future workforce. These are your future employees that you'd be working with. And then you also want to share successes with them. Give them examples of great success stories that you've had in the past. And then once you meet with them and you start working on an internship opportunity for them, share some job descriptions with them so they don't have to do all the legwork. Give them examples. Provide them resources. What we've done, we've created a toolkit for them. And we've given them resources such as how to manage an intern, because some of these small businesses, they've never had an intern, so they don't know what to do with it. So give them as many resources as possible. And definitely use social media. Tag them in posts. Make sure that they are recognized out in the community. And also, if they see other businesses being shared on social media, they'll say, hey, why am I not being shared? I need to do more. So kind of create that buzz. And use your students as spokespeople. So if you are having an organization come into your school to maybe learn about NAF, don't just let the teachers talk. Let the students talk. We did that one time. We had a few, probably about 10 employers come in and learn about NAF. So they did a tour around the school. They got to meet with the teachers. They wanted to know from the teachers directly, what are your needs? How can I help you? And then we had students speak too. And the students, they just blew everybody away because how amazing they were, how capable they are to doing internships and doing the work. So it was just great thing for us to really showcase NAF. And make sure to just ask an employer. Most likely, many times, businesses don't even know that NAF exists or you exist. So reach out to them, talk to them, and in many cases, they are willing to help. And then think of it as like a relationship too. You want to start small, have them visit a school or academy, and maybe introduce them to a teacher and have them be a guest speaker for 1 hour. And then work your way up to doing more things at the commitments. Don't overwhelm them too much in the beginning. So maybe do the guest speaking and then work up to an internship or a job shadowing experience. And that will definitely start a great relationship with you and the business community members. Leverage your local education networks. Here in Collier County, we have Future Ready Collier and Future Makers Coalition. And through connecting with your local and regional community networks, we are able to collaborate and make things happen. We are all stronger in numbers. So our Future Ready Collier Coalition, they are a network of organizations, businesses, schools, and community members. We have about 60 partners in total, and we're working together to ensure every child in Collier County, Florida, is ready for kindergarten, and every young person enters adulthood with a vision and plan to accomplish that vision. And working together toward one specific community goal, so we're all speaking the kind of same language, we all have our minds focused on things to move forward and how can we really move the needle for children and families in our community. So make sure that you are involved, you're participating in your local coalitions. And our Future Makers Coalition, I just want to recognize them for a minute. They are a regional impact network. They're really doing some great work, and we try to be part of their meetings as much as possible.
So we're not perfect by any means. I think this is going into our 7th year of having NAF here in our district, and we still face challenges. One of the biggest ones, and I think Alex had originally mentioned this, was awareness. A lot of times people in the community don't know NAF. They don't know what it stands for, and they don't know what it means to have NAF in our schools. So a way that we're trying to combat this is by doing open houses, trying to do parent nights. We try to do NAF nights at all of our schools. Again, we partnered with the Chamber, and the Chamber will host lunch and learn series. So one of the lunch and learn topics is NAF. And how to get interns into businesses. So we're really trying to leverage our business partnerships, but also create that awareness in the community. Another big one is student buy-in. It's been challenging for us to get students to want to participate in NAF, maybe because they're inundated with AP courses or their extracurricular activities. Sometimes they don't really see the value of doing an internship this early on in their life at 15 or 16 years old. Did you really think that doing an internship in high school is going to be beneficial to you later on in the next 15 years? So really trying to get students to understand the benefits of NAF. So one of our schools tried to create a camaraderie amongst their NAF academies. So they did what was called a NAF Games. So a lot of different obstacle courses and a lot of different games that they played. Each academy would wear a different colored shirt to be representative of that academy theme. And there was a lot of competition, but a lot of camaraderie. And now that school does really well. They actually have all 5 academy themes, and they have signups, expanding wide because there's a lot more awareness. So really trying to combat that as well.
And we have the same thing with business buy-in. We really try to make sure businesses are involved with work-based learning. So we're trying to build that culture of work-based learning here. Because unfortunately, employers, they get scared of high school students. They're like, oh, wow, a high school student, oh my gosh, that's a lot. It's very overwhelming. But really, we want to showcase how amazing our students are, how capable they are. And also the business partners, they don't understand what's the difference between a part-time job and an internship. And they don't understand what's the importance of an internship too. And so we really want to try to address our challenges with them, and we want to share our success stories with them. And also we want to emphasize the work-based learning culture, like I said before. So what we do every year is we try to make this internship campaign. So National Internship Day is coming up, I believe, the end of July. And we do a big campaign on our Chamber of Commerce social media. And we hope to do that again this year. And we do the same thing with job shadowing. National Job Shadow Day was, I believe, January 31st. So we wanted to make a big splash on our social media, make a buzz about work-based learning. And then funding is also a challenge that we face. Funding for my position, I'm grant funded through our 501c3, but also funding for the internship positions. So, every year we're going through the grant cycles, making sure that we have a grant secured for the next year, and having a sustainable funding system too. So we try to engage our business partners. Well, maybe they don't want to be engaged with the business world, but maybe they want to make a difference in our youth world. So why don't we maybe refund some funding and have it go towards the youth, and help secure some internships for students in the future.
So something else that we also struggle in is finding qualified and certified teachers. So in the career and technical education realm, we do have some really upper level advanced curriculum. So for example, engineering, more advanced computer sciences, our health science programs. It's hard, number one, finding somebody in engineering, health science, computer science, whatever their career is, who wants to work on a teacher's salary, who's good with children. That's tougher than you would think. And it's also certified to teach the curriculum. So we do a couple things. We work with our local universities. They help us provide classes to help get teachers or maybe even early retires, and they try to get them through the certification processes. We have worked with our HR department in the past, and they've actually sent postcards out nationally to help us recruit teachers. And something else that we also do is work with teachers. Like, we really want to have teachers who come from an engineering background or whatever background, because they have that experience to share with kids, but that's really not always possible. So we really do work with our teachers to provide like work-based learning, and they can actually work with our advisory members and learn more from them. And really, that's why the work-based learning is important, because we get community members in the room. So even if the teacher doesn't have that background, they can teach it, they've been educated, they know the curriculum, but it's really good bringing those people in the room to help the students understand what it's really like out there.
And then transportation is always a big issue. Like Alex said, our county is the size of the state of Delaware. So trying to get students that are all the way out in Immokalee to come 30 miles in town for an internship and then drive 30 miles back, it's just not doable. So we try to work with different organizations. We actually have one in town that's part of their Future Ready Collier, and they are doing a work study on transportation needs and issues, not just with internships, but also countywide. We look to target local businesses in areas that surround schools because they have a vested interest in those students that go to the particular schools that are in their neighborhood. So still trying to work through a lot of things, but if you have any suggestions as well, please throw them our way.
We're always looking for them.
But we really wanted you to, one, be informed, but two, have a plan. So if your plan is to get in touch with your Chamber of Commerce, or even find out if you have a Chamber of Commerce, I want you to go ahead and read some of these action items on the screen. And what I want you to do is I want you to choose 2 or 3 of them, and then focus on those. And let's create a timeline, and let's create a plan. So write down a who, what, where, when, and why, and let's focus your thoughts on the next steps. So for instance, if your plan, top priority is to establish a partnership with your local Chamber of Commerce, let's make that your action item. Let's give yourself a date that you want to have some tasks accomplished by, and let's give yourself some notes. So find out if you have a Chamber of Commerce. If you do, find out who the president and CEO, get their email address, send them an email, see if you can set up a meeting, things like that. So let's work on 2 or 3 of those items for your next steps.
Great places to start. So that about wraps it up for what we wanted to share with you guys today. We do want to have some time for questions and comments. So we're hoping that you can either share some challenges that you're facing that maybe one of us or maybe somebody who's participating in this presentation today can help solve. Maybe you want to share some of your best practices that you have been doing that work really, really well, that would be really beneficial for the rest of us as well. And maybe you have some questions on anything that we've discussed today. So at this time, we open it up for questions, and we look forward to talking to you more.
All right, well, we just want to say thank you for joining us today. We hope that you learned some valuable information on how to leverage your Chamber of Commerce and develop business partnerships in your area.
Hello, everybody. What a presentation. This is James Cole with NAF. I'm very fortunate to be here with Nicole, Courtney, and Alex, who just delivered a fantastic learning session. We saw a lot of questions come through the chat box. Please continue to send those. But the first question I want to pose to you all relates to how do you assess that academies are ready to engage with the partners you're working so hard to recruit?
I'll take that one. And I just want to say thank you for joining our session today. And we hope that you gained some valuable information from it. And thank you for the questions. So how do we prepare students and make sure that they're ready to engage with business partners? From the time our students step into their academy, whether it's 9th, 10th grade, they are getting work-based learning experiences. So teachers are working on bringing guest speakers into the classroom. They're working on conducting informational interviews. They're really trying to give students as much exposure to business professionals from the time they start in their academy all the way through their academy tenure. And then we really, in our district, we like to prepare students for their internship. So even though they finished 1 year of an academy class, we want to make sure that they're going to continue on in their academy. And we sort of gauge whether or not a student is eligible to do an internship based on classes that they've taken and teacher recommendation. So we also work to prepare students for their internship. So we run them through an internship preparation conference, which is a day where we bring in business professionals and we bring in students outside of campus, and we have students go through sessions on things like mock interviews, dressing for success in the workplace, how to conduct yourself in the workplace. So we try to expose students as much as possible to those business professionals, but before they step into a place of business for an internship, we want to make sure that on our end, we've prepared them as much as possible so that when they go to a place of business, they're representing us well, our district, they're representing their teachers and their schools and themselves well, because ultimately our goal is that these students will understand that our county is a really great place to come back, live, raise a family, and work.
That's awesome. Can I build off of that too with a further question, I guess? You spoke a lot to have students prepared, and it sounds amazing. Thank you for all that work. How do you also make sure that the various instructors that you're connecting the partners to are ready to, continue nurturing that relationship? If you're handing them off for a job shadow or a guest speaker, then you make sure that they're going to be responsive, or they're going to keep you in the loop, or they're going to give you the data that's needed. Like, how do you make sure that the academy, the adult side of that, in addition to the students, is ready?
Well, I can jump in on that one, then you can add in too. So we do a Work-Based Learning Institute every year, and we have all of our NAF Academy leads, the teachers, we have administrators, counselors, and we invite the chamber. Alex comes. We've had NAF actually come. I think, James, you might have participated in one a few years ago. And we work with our teachers to make sure that they understand like what their role is and what they are responsible for to prepare the students. And also we talk about how important it is to engage with the community and how answering an email in a timely fashion, as busy as teachers are, we all know our teachers don't sit at the desk all day, So, but answering emails in a timely fashion, and then also reaching out to Alex as much as possible when they do need support to get those work-based learning opportunities in the classroom, and making sure they have the materials that they need to be successful in that. Courtney and I are in the classrooms frequently. We visit a lot. We are available to go on field trips when they're doing work-based learning activities. And we're constantly promoting the chamber partnership and our advisory committee partnerships and how we can get them more involved. And the more information they have and the more comfortable they are reaching out to Courtney, myself, or Alex, really promotes them being able to do those extra activities to make them go above and beyond so they can gain that model status or gain that distinguished status.
And I would also sort of piggyback off that. I think that the majority, and we love to believe that the majority of our teachers have their students' best interests. So really what they're doing is they're feeding off of the students' energy. They know that it's going to be the best thing for them. But in our district, we understand that being an academy lead is extremely going above and beyond what your regular call of teacher duty is. So we've worked really hard with HR here to provide our academy leads with teacher stipends, not only for being the director over the academy or the site coordinator, but also for students being placed in internships. It takes a lot of work to get a student placed in an internship. It takes a lot of work to get the student to actually complete the work that they need to do. So we also provide stipends to our teacher based on the number of internships that students in their academies have as well. So we try to give them incentives, but truthfully, I really feel like teachers do it because they know this is what's best for their students and for our economy.
Absolutely.
And to build off of that one more, to prepare the business side too. So that's where I come in. And so I help prepare the employer or the leader, the person who's going to be interacting with the students. I have a conversation with them, see kind of what their commitment level is, what they're comfortable doing, and then I pair them up to whatever activity I think is best for them. So if they only have an hour that they can lend out to be engaged with work-based learning, then a guest speaker opportunity would probably be best for them. Or maybe we have this like networking thing that we do with students and businesses, and that is only about an hour and a half of their time. So we'll start with something small and kind of work with them and see if they want to do an internship or anything after that, and then work up to something a little bit more heavy on the time commitment.
That is amazing. I just love how the three of you are so comprehensive, and how you're incenting teachers, and yeah, just incredibly powerful. Along the lines, you kind of touched on it a little bit, but we know that this is a lot of work. Managing an academy, engaging employers, coordinating, securing work-based learning internships, so much work, and nobody can do it on their own. How do you, and in your presentation, you mentioned a little bit about how you leverage, if your principal is going to a different meeting, or, parents are doing this. How do you empower all stakeholders and enable them to advocate on your behalf?
I think that's something that we're working on still. We're still growing that. We're trying to market ourselves better. And I think ultimately, like we were talking about, it really comes down to educating everybody to make sure they know what our NAF academies are, what our students are prepared to do, what our students can do. We have high school students that are doing better in internships than some college students are. And Absolutely. We hear that from our business partners, because they are prepared. But if people don't know about it, they don't know about it. So we have to really work hard to make sure, I know we have administrators, principals at schools that are also, ministers at church, and they talk about it at church, or they go to golfing outings and they talk about their golfing outings, or we talk at our teachers, our site coordinators. Our teachers are phenomenal, and they're constantly out in the community talking to different organizations. Sometimes they host those organization meetings in their classrooms. So that way the people can see what, just even looking around a classroom and the equipment that's in there, what the kiddos are doing, and then they get 10 minutes in front of them. So
and I also think students are the best advocates.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
a lot
absolutely.
of times, if I, as an adult or a teacher, were to ask a business to do something or contribute in some way, they might say no to me. Why? I don't know. But if you have a student call or ask a question, it gives students the opportunity to put themselves out there. It gives them the opportunity to network and interface and interact with these business professionals. And then they're asking these questions of, well, can I interview you? Or do you have internship opportunities in your company? And it's hard for an adult to say no to a student or a kid who's just trying to gain experience. So a lot of times students are the best advocates as well.
And we get sometimes, if I'm trying to convince maybe an employer to start being part of work-based learning, the first thing they always say is well, I don't know how. I don't know how to hire an intern. I don't know how managing an intern looks like. And so we try to give them as many resources as possible. And within that resources, giving examples of what other businesses in the same industry, what they've provided for students. So maybe provide that job description for them, or show them what types of presentations or projects they've done, or even give them the phone number of an employer who's done it already, and have them talk peer to peer of, okay, how does this look? How does this work with us? How did you do it? What are your best practices?
Oh, I wish we were together so I could give you high fives, but virtual high five. You guys are just amazing and inspiring. And I wish the whole network could be hearing this. Here's a two-part question, really related to the chamber. The first part of this is, if there's not position funded like your position, Alex, how might a local NAF Academy or district start working with the chamber to, you know, have similar kind of a similar partnership to what you have, and or to kind of create a funding stream to fund a person like you. And then the second part really is, you know, if distance learning continues into the fall, how do you envision staying engaged and helping connect still, you know, academies to businesses?
So to start off with the funding part of it, so with my position, it's grant funded. So there is a local, it's called Naples Children's Education Foundation. We apply for a grant each year, and that grant covers my salary. So I'm not actually funded through the chamber. Some of my benefits are, but majority of my salary comes from that grant. So if you have a local education foundation, reach out to them, see if there is, or another philanthropy group, see if there's a way that this type of position could be funded through that. And if that's not an option for the chamber, because you know, this is a difficult time right now with chambers and businesses, that there probably is somebody there who runs their membership program, their membership benefits. And so they have direct contact with all of their members. So they are now, those people that are in those positions are aware of all of those employers, and they know, they have direct contact with them. They go and meet with them. So they know, oh, that person would be good with students, that person probably not. And so reach out to probably the director of membership. That would probably be the best. But even before that, I would reach out to the CEO or president of the chamber and start that conversation. And then he would, or she would probably hand off to the correct person. And most chambers also have a talent development or education portion to their chamber. And those are usually people who will handle things like that. And moving forward with COVID and staying engaged with CCPS through all of COVID and going virtual, what we are planning on doing, what we've done already is career speakers. So doing virtual guest speakers. And we did one great one where we asked students before the school year was over to ask questions to this one individual, this employer, and he answered the questions throughout his presentation. So the kids were able to feel like they were still engaged, getting their questions across. But it's not the same questions that we always ask every single speaker. These questions that the kids came up with were so innovative and great. And the employer was really receptive to that. And we also try to target the younger employers too, the younger professionals. I just think that is so more beneficial to students because they're younger, they're more relatable, they kind of like understand what the students might be going through. So we also try to advocate for having young professionals really involved and engaged.
And I think what's great, trying to be an optimist about COVID and what's going on with distance learning, is that we're giving students another look into how they can engage with employers. We're also giving employers an in with people that might have said that they were a little too busy before, or because our county is the size of the state of Delaware, maybe it was too far to travel to a certain school during the school day. So now we're allowing those business professionals to interact with the students as well, and giving them an in order to participate in work-based learning experiences. And we're also creating sort of a repository of different information that can be shared, just like this NAF Next conference that's going to be shared for the next year. We didn't have that ability before, but now we have that ability to do that with students. So we might be targeting a specific school and a specific academy, but that particular piece of work-based learning can span across the board. So we might be able to use it at a different school or with a different academy. So I think that we're learning a lot.
I think we're growing and adding.
Yeah, we're growing and we're adding and we're learning how to do things differently.
And I think adding onto that real quick, well, two things. The first thing is we have one school that is like way out. And we do struggle with finding opportunities. Not anymore. That school's their rock star school. they figured it out. But originally we had talked about, oh, how can we do maybe remote internships and getting the kid a laptop and figuring out how we can do that. And now this has kind of forced us to be able to do that. And, you know, we talk about a lot of things sometimes, they don't necessarily, they get kind of pushed back on the list. But now looking at the positives with this, we really it's pushed us to do what we've been talking about for a while, which I think is a really positive thing. And then just going back really quick to add to what Alex was talking about, we've had a partnership with our chamber for many, many, many years. They've always been part of what we had a Future Force advisory, which helped us guide with our CTE programs. And growing from that and growing with our NAF Academies and expanding our CTE offerings, that's where this position kind of, you know, has helped build our programs. And we've only had this position, like Alex was saying, for about 3 years. We had a half-time position for 1 year. And then Alex has been in for about 2 full years and having a full-time position. So, I mean, we've always had, even if you don't have this position at your local chamber, you can still develop a relationship with your chamber and they will support you because ultimately they really are looking to grow their own local workforce. And where do you find your local talent? Especially in these NAF Academies that are getting kids career ready right now.
Right.
So anybody can reach out and, you know, just start that conversation and find out what can you do to support them and what they can do to support you.
Mm-hmm. You guys are amazing. I just want to make sure everybody hears that again. We have 2 minutes left. And so there's one question about the funding. You guys have clearly prioritized the teacher stipends for being academy director, academy lead, and also the internship, you know, securing internships. So I'm going to give you a choice. You guys can speak to that, or you can each do, you know, some brief closing thoughts. What do you prefer?
I mean, I can talk really fast about the funding. So our district prioritizes like stipends for teachers. So the way that we look at it, you know, coaches get stipends, club sponsorships get stipends. So our academy directors that looked at that, and our, we have a pretty strong, just a strong support for NAF Academies and academies in general. Our CAPE Academy leads also get the stipends, even if it's not a NAF Academy, because we do realize as a district that what we're asking our teachers to do is above and beyond what their contract states. So our district does provide that.
That's incredible. There are a few more questions in our chat box. As we've shared about the conference in general, we will work to get those questions to you and get answers back out. So we will take that on as NAF. But we're gonna have to close this session, unfortunately. I've had a lot of fun. You guys are just so amazing. You guys, any, couple closing words that you want, like very, very brief before we get cut off?
For me, I just think that being able to work with Alex and the chamber and the support that we have from the chamber in our district is amazing. And the fact that we have the relationship that we have and that Alex has a relationship that she has with all of our teachers really does make it go above and beyond.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And I do want to say the resources are online, and in our PowerPoint is our direct contact information. Mm-hmm. So we will try our best to answer the questions, but if we're not able to, please go ahead and reach out to us.
Absolutely.
Yes, feel free to reach out to us. I'm more than happy to reach out to you or answer any of your questions or, help you with your proposal maybe to convince your chamber to work with you. I'd love to help you any way possible.
It's so amazing. Thank you guys so much. We will see you in the next session, and stay safe and healthy.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us today. Before you leave, a few quick things. The session evaluation and code are available right now on this platform. Please take a minute to give us your important feedback. It assists us in future conferences, and it will also help you in getting CEUs. Speaking of CEUs, if you're interested in getting those, for the sessions that you attended, that information will be provided to you as well. Don't forget to download the resources from this incredible session. And also be on the lookout in your email for an overall conference evaluation a few days following NAF Next. You'll also be excited to know that these sessions will be available for a year for you to watch again or to share with colleagues that may be in another session or were unable to attend NAF Next 2020. We hope to see you at NAF Next 2021 in Phoenix. Thanks again for joining us, and it's an honor to support each of you and together strive to prepare all of our students to be future ready. Have a great day.